There are so many times Jinx dies in Arcane, it's not even close. Throughout the series, Jinx dies in some way 8 different times. Once at the end of Echo and Jinx's fight in Season 1, another one after her fight with Vi.
Jinx is dead.
5 times at the start of the last episode, and 1 final death at the end of the last episode. And that's not even counting the reality that Jace visits where everyone dies, or anytime Powder technically dies.
You kinda remind me of her.
And I know some of you are gonna mention Echo, but the whole point of his power is that he still sustains damage, but can rewind time as long as he doesn't die. I've said the word die too many times, but I do want to say honorable mention goes to Victor because he does die a lot too. And if I did miss something, put it in the comments and I might pin it. Of course, Jinx never really bites the bullet, or I guess bomb, because she's there till the end of the series. And there are already videos talking about how Jinx survived that last explosion, but if you don't know, when you analyze the explosion, there's a purple streak coming out of it, which is the same purple streak they use to show when Jinx is moving really quick. We also get this scene of Caitlyn looking through the blueprints at the Hexgate Tower, right where Jinx would have been, and the only reason they would give us this scene is to at least imply Jinx lived. Also, as a bonus, someone else mentioned the fact that when Powder first enters Topside, she sees an airship and says,
"One day, I'm gonna ride in one of those things."
And from one of the last scenes in Season 2, it's an airship going overhead in a very similar way, then glitches all Jinx style. So pretty obviously, Jinx isn't dead. It's sad to see Arcane go, but like Jinx, it's not really gone. And looking at its success, they're obviously gonna make more. Of course, I do believe Arcane is over, at least in name, but the world lives on, not only through the games they're based on, but likely there'll be some sort of follow-up show, just in a different setting. I've seen a lot of people theorize where it could be, like we're trying to figure out where the next Elder Scrolls is going to take place, and God, I hope it doesn't take that long, because it's already been 13 years, man. I know Riot has a bit more of a grip on it than Bethesda, but please don't make me wait that long. Everyone thinks the next show will be set in Noxus, me included, because it's the only other place that's been established besides Piltover, and it's also where Mel's heading. But I'm not 100% sold on the idea, simply because it just feels too connected to Arcane. People also think Jinx could be heading there too, but I doubt this even more. I just feel like if they're gonna leave the Arcane name, they would want to not return to Piltover, and it's really hard to develop these characters even more without at least doing some kind of callback. But that is also me just wanting to see more Echo and Jinx, so, you know, I'm a little biased. Jinx totally did burn down her past Deadpool style, and she also made peace with Vi, so I guess it's not impossible.
I'm always with you, even when we're worlds apart.
I wouldn't be surprised if the next Runeterra series takes place in a different time either. It could be hundreds of years before Arcane, or just a few years after Arcane, I have no idea. But I heavily doubt we're gonna pick up right where we left off with Mel. Actually, I don't even think it would pick up right after the end, even if it was Arcane Season 3, judging by all the previous time skips. Like, there are 2 time skips just in Season 1 and 2 alone. Also, this is the second video I've ever made, so chances are you're not subscribed. So if you could do that, that would be great. What I would like to see in the next series would be Ionia, because a deep-seated Japan lover in me just wants to see the ninjas.
You swore to protect Ionia.
But I think some kind of conflict between Noxus and Demacia would make the most sense. So you already know Noxus with the Roman Empire vibes, Piltover, steampunk, but Demacia is very Numenorian and generally Tolkien, Lord of the Rings inspired, but honestly what fantasy styles aren't? Like, the guy established everything from elves to what medieval towns look like in high fantasy. I think Demacia would also serve as a great parallel to Piltover, because they've just recently accepted the danger of magic that Heimendinger has been warning them about, while Demacia is pretty much built on the old Rune Wars, hating magic to its very core. But it is important to remember that before they make any kind of new series, they're gonna have to make up all the money they just lost creating Arcane. They spent $250 million just for these 2 seasons, so it's no wonder why we've been seeing everything from Vi and Jinx gaming chairs to hair dye. And if you're one of the people who started playing League after you watched Arcane, don't be surprised by the $250 skins. Ever since the end of Season 2, I've been surrounded by Arcane. They've added Vi's Gauntlet to Valorant, and I'm seeing Jinx and Vi in Fortnite again. I've held out from even starting to play League, both for my mental health, but also because I found out there's this fighting game they're making called 2xKO, 2 times KO, 2 times knock. I don't know how to say it, but it seems a lot more my speed. In my last video, I talk about Echo's heroic sacrifice to leave his perfect life. But I want to add this small detail. In the final fight and the rooftop scene, you can see him pay tribute to the otherworld by combining his alternate reality hairstyle with his old one. Thanks for watching.